Hey guys, it's Cher. I'm staying in a house right now where I have access to really good natural lighting, so I thought I would take advantage of it and try to do a makeup video. In this video, I'm going to be trying out the glass skin makeup technique, which basically focuses on good skincare and very little makeup product. And the makeup product that you do use is supposed to be very natural looking to, as an end result, give your skin a really good, healthy looking glow. So the whole concept of glass skin started as a Korean beauty trend that focused on skincare instead of actual makeup. But recently I've seen a lot of videos with other YouTubers doing their makeup and calling it glass skin makeup tutorials. So I thought I would try to follow one that I saw the other day. It is from a YouTuber named Loreal, and I really liked how her makeup in that video came out. It was just really natural and pretty looking and very glowy. So I thought I would try it and film it for you guys so you could see my experience trying this makeup technique. So if you want to watch me try this glass skin makeup trend, then let's get into the video. I'm just basically following Mariah Leonard's guidelines on how she suggests doing this. It is what got me interested in trying this out to see if I could make my skin look really natural and like I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, even though technically I am wearing makeup. So I'm going to be following a lot of her techniques. She suggests using a brush. She even says in the video that it was hard for her to make the switch between using a beauty blender and a foundation brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's hard for me to want to make this switch too, because I'm so used to using a damp beauty blender that I don't really know how to use anything else. But I did buy a couple foundation brushes for this to see if they work. They're just Maybelline brushes with like stiffer bristles, and I'm curious to see if they're gonna leave my foundation looking streaky or if they're actually going to give me better, more flawless coverage than a beauty blender. I have my doubts. And in her video, I know she uses some type of strobe cream, but I was scared about how that was gonna mix in with my foundation, so I went ahead and skipped that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and moisturize a little bit. Not too much, considering it will break my skin out. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, and then I'm going to go right into foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation, and I just did a review on this, testing it on dry skin. If you wanna watch that video, I will link it in the description below. I'm just going to use very little product to see how much I can get it to cover on my face. This Maybelline makeup brush, I can already tell, is doing a much better job than makeup brushes I've used in the past to try to put foundation on, because so far, and I'm in natural lighting, like I said, because I wanted this to be a pretty good test. So far, I can tell that there is not a lot of streakiness going on my face. It does not look that streaky at all. I'm moving on to my forehead area, and I'm very nervous about this area in my face because it consistently gives me problems. I'm really curious to see how this is going to work on that area of my face. I've really taken my time blending all of this out, making sure that everything is even and like not streaky so that it looks as natural as possible. Is there a little bit more redness on my forehead and chin area that I would normally cover up, or at least try to cover up with extra layers of foundation? Yes, but I think that if I do any more, it's going to lose that effect that the whole makeup look is going for, which is no makeup. So I'm going to stop there before I get carried away. Moving on to concealer, which surprisingly, I really only use under eye concealer. I don't really ever conceal anywhere else on my face, even though I probably should, considering I do have issues with redness. I'm going against what I usually do, which is just smearing this all over my under eye to try to cover up my circles. I'm going to use another brush to put a little bit of under eye concealer under my eyes. Okay, so using that same brush I already used for my foundation, I'm just going to pick a little bit of this contour shade up from the Maybelline contour stick and try to make that look very natural. In Mariah's video, she suggested to veer more towards using liquid products instead of powder products, because the more powder you have on your face, the more textured it's going to look and the less natural and like your actual skin it's going to look. For blush and highlight, I saw one brand that was suggested quite a bit was Physicians Formula, which I'm not super familiar with, but I thought I'd check them out for this video specifically. So I picked up their Butter Blush at Walmart, of course, and I also picked up their Butter Highlight. The blush is in the color Natural Glow, and the highlight is in the color Pearl. Honestly, this smells like sunscreen, and not in a bad way either. I'm going to do some very natural brows and eyeshadow before I do the last step of putting this highlighter on, so I'll be right back. Now we're gonna move on to the last, or one of the last steps, I think, of highlighting. I'm just going to use this e.l.f. highlighter brush that I recently bought that I actually like how it applies highlighter with. So since the structure of this makeup is pretty relaxed, I'm not going to focus the highlight on the normal areas of my face that I would, and make sure that it stays strictly in one spot of my face because I am going for an overall glowy, natural look. So I'm going to be less precise than I normally would with the application of this highlighter. I really like this highlighter, I think. I don't know, it looks pretty natural to me. I do have a little bit of, I have a lot of dryness on my face, obviously, and I noticed that you can still see with a lot of highlighter like this, you can still see obviously where my skin is dry, but I mean, there's only so much you can do about that, and I am trying to up my moisturizing game lately. One of the last steps is just putting a little bit of powder on. When I say a little bit, I mean the most minimal amount of product you can possibly imagine. Okay, and I'm just going to throw on a little bit of mascara. And then the last step of this makeup routine was just adding some glowy, dewy setting spray. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. I don't think that she mentioned including anything for your lips in the video, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw on a little bit of shimmery lip gloss from Buxom because it's my favorite lip gloss in the whole world. And it's pretty natural looking if you ask me, so I think it's okay to use for this. I'm pretty happy overall with how this came out. I think, wow, that highlight is really intense right there, but I swear that it's because I'm in really good natural lighting. Yeah, this highlight is no joke. This Physicians Formula Butter highlight is no joke. I think this is super natural, and if you're someone like me who already doesn't wear a whole lot of makeup or just wants a lighter everyday makeup look, then this would definitely be good for you to try. Like I said, I did not come up with this. I basically just step-by-step followed the instructions from a Mariah Leonard glass skin tutorial. So if you guys want to check out that original video where she goes through each step individually and explains everything really in depth, then go check out her video, and I will link it in the description box below. Don't be afraid to do this if you don't think you have that great of skin, because I definitely don't have amazing skin. I thought that by the end of it you were still going to be able to see a lot of my red and irritated areas of my skin, but surprisingly you can. It's really cool to see people who don't have naturally perfect skin do their makeup and just become comfortable with showing a little bit of their flaws they have on their face. And it's good to know that you do not have to pile like layers and layers and layers of thick makeup on. I don't have my glasses on so I can't see for sure, but I think that my skin looks pretty decent and it looks pretty natural. So I would definitely recommend giving this a try. That is it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my take on the glass skin makeup routine. Let me know if you end up trying this out and how well it works for you depending on your skin type. Make sure you like this video before you leave and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.